So there's a new Adam Sandler movie on Netflix. The Ridiculous Six. Ridiculously stupid. The Ridiculous Six, just like almost every other Adam Sandler movie, has a lot of huge stars in it. Too much for a movie like this. It's a Western because we've had quite a few Westerns in the last couple of years. In The Ridiculous Six, Adam Sandler plays a white guy who, well, his mother died, he became an orphan, and he got raised by Indians. So yeah, Adam Sandler's character's name is White Knife. Anyway, one day his long-lost father comes in. He used to be a crook, he used to be a bank robber. And then suddenly his old gang, led by Danny Trejo, Danny Trejo, and, oh, by the way, the father is Nick Nolte. These people actually agreed to be in an Adam Sandler film. But anyway, Nick Nolte's old gang takes him, kidnaps him, because they want the last big score. And Nick Nolte told him that it's hiding in a singing windmill. But that's not really where the money is. And since Adam Sandler can't find the real money, he has to steal from the corrupt in order to get enough money to pay the gang off so that they can save Nick Nolte. And the gimmick for this movie, along the way he encounters 5 other men, all of which are bastard children of Nick Nolte's character, so they're all half-brothers. And on a scale of Big Daddy to Jack and Jill, roughly somewhere between the Grown Ups movies and Jack and Jill. Still not as bad as Jack and Jill, that's the good news. And despite me not liking this movie, I do admit that there are times where I did laugh, and there are times where I felt that the story did a pretty decent job. Also, a lot of the actors did feel like they were trying to do a decent performance. Jokes, on the other hand, I'll get back into that though. I did feel that some of the plot was pretty clever is too strong of a word. I felt that the plot was still decent. And to be honest, there's one scene in the movie that is a really decent parody. It's a little bit clever, well, very clever if you compare it to the rest of the movie. And it just felt like a true parody. The problem is, it doesn't really fit in this movie. It feels like a skit that they came up with one day, and because they thought it was so great, they thought, okay, we gotta put this in a movie, but where should we put it? And they're like, oh, let's just put it in our new movie, and it's just sort of slapped in there. If you're wondering what it is, it's the scene where they make up the rules for baseball, or at least one character does. And I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, ultimately there are a few things that I did like in this film, story-wise, a little bit of humor that I did laugh at. So it wasn't a total laughless 2 hours. It wasn't like Jack and Jill where I just sat in front of the screen just like... But with the few things that I did find good in the movie, there are plenty of things that I thought were awful and terrible. For the most part, I thought the first 20 minutes, save for one scene, was decent. I wouldn't say it was very funny. I wouldn't say it was really great. It just felt like, okay, maybe this could be a decent movie. But then around the time where we find Rob Schneider and his donkey, and they have a little heartfelt moment with Rob Schneider and Adam Sandler, only for it to be ruined completely at the very end of the scene where the donkey just spews diarrhea. Yeah, Adam Sandler and Rob Schneider just learn in this scene that they're half-brothers and they have a heart-to-heart, and then suddenly the donkey just spews diarrhea all across the wall. That's when the movie started going downhill. Yeah, there wasn't any really laugh-out-loud moments for me. Most of them were chuckles. Sometimes I was smiling and laughing a little because it's so stupid. But most of the bad jokes in this film just had me... There's another joke that comes out of nowhere that feels completely out of left field and unlike any of the other jokes in the movie, but I thought it was actually kind of darkly funny, and it deals with a guy getting decapitated. Another gross out one that I felt was kind of funny was with Steve Buscemi and how he's like the doctor in this town. So he's doing all the doctor type things. He's doing dentistry. He's got a barber shop. He's also shaving, and then he's also dealing with prostate exam, or not prostate exam, but yeah, there's a growth in on one of the characters. Mark Twain is played by Vanilla Ice. And I know they had to have thought they were clever, because in this movie they have him working on Huckleberry Finn. And so they're like, oh, let's make Mark Twain the kind of guy that is pretending to be black. And so who are we going to get to do that? Vanilla Ice, of course. So it makes logical sense why Vanilla Ice is Mark Twain in their logic. But at the same time, it just made me really embarrassed for the movie. A lot of the film made me feel embarrassed for the film. It is almost 2 hours long. I don't think any Adam Sandler movie should be that long. You also get the added bonus that, yeah, many of the jokes that are in this movie are repeated several times. And I think I would be fine with that in most cases, except this one is very excessive. Almost to the point where it only feels like there's 6 jokes in the entire movie. Not only are they repeated, but there's some times where it feels like they insult your intelligence. Alright, let me give you 2 different examples. Because this happens multiple times, but let me just give you 2. There's this moment where the 6 of them are talking together and they're trying to figure out each other's strengths and weaknesses and trying to think of special skills that they might have. The 2 examples revolve around that because they speak a specific talent that you can never forget because they're just so freaking random. Taylor Lautner says that he has a strong neck. And so when they use him as a distraction to be hung, I thought, okay, I know exactly where this is going. I remember, he said he had a strong neck. So the joke is when he gets hung, he's still alive and he's having a fun time. I laughed at that. But then it has to go and ruin it when suddenly they break him free and he starts getting dragged behind the stagecoach as they're getting away. And as he's being dragged, as the camera's zooming away, you hear his voiceover say, I told you guys I had a strong neck. And I'm like, okay, they just explained the joke for the dumb people. Luke Wilson's character says that, okay, I can hold my breath for about 6 minutes or so. And so when it gets in a situation where he has to use that talent, we can obviously see he's going to use it. And then as soon as that conflict is over, he tells the other brothers, I told you I can hold my breath for a long time. This gets very old because it does it several times with different types of things. It's so many times where you get the setup, you know what's going to happen, the joke happens, and then they explain the joke to the audience. It's only the times where it doesn't do that that I felt like, okay, this is actually funny. Now in this movie, Adam Sandler's also trying to find the man who killed his mother. And it becomes a conflict, and it's very anticlimactic. Like, it happened so fast that I was like in shock, and I thought, this is what we've been waiting for? And it's over that quickly? And so I was like really bummed, and I was gonna be pissed about it. But thankfully something else happens, another twist happens that I thought I should have seen it coming, and I probably did, but I was so pissed off by the anticlimactic conflict that it got me, and it got me surprised. So maybe that's the whole point of it, maybe? Maybe I'm giving it too much credit. But anyway, The Ridiculous Six, if you're a big Adam Sandler fan, you'll probably like this movie, especially if you like his more modern stuff. If you're a younger audience, then yeah, you'll probably like it. If you're a fan of his older stuff, or you're older, then you're probably going to hate this movie. And if you've never been a fan of Adam Sandler movies, this is not going to be the one to convert you at all. So I think I'm going to give The Ridiculous Six a solid 1 star. So have you seen The Ridiculous Six? What did you think about it? Go ahead and comment. If not, what is your least favorite Adam Sandler movie? Let's go with the worst. Mine is obviously Jack and Jill. It's the only Adam Sandler movie that I would give a legitimate 0 to. I don't even think I have a half-star Adam Sandler, so I think The Ridiculous Six is the second worst for me, with 1 star. As always, this is Bruce Gifford, and this was just my opinion.